So I think most humans struggle with this, and I've been sitting with it for a while and struggling with it for a while, and so I want to kind of share with you and really get your take and bring you into this conversation as well, because I think this is a human condition situation, and that is we all have this really complicated situation with our history and where we've been and who we've been in the past. Now, for some of us, we sit in places where we think about the good old days and we relive the glory years, which then makes you ask the question, so what's today, right? Like what's going on right now if that was so great back then, and what was lost, right? And was it actually that important? What was lost, and how much of it is fantasy? Some of us live there. A lot of us live in some form of regret, shame, guilt about the past, opportunities missed, things we did that maybe we shouldn't have done, whether that is because society told us we shouldn't have done it, whether that is because we in our own self know we shouldn't have done it, whatever the reason is, right? We have this complicated look back and we sit around and it's like, yeah, I was a bad person. And maybe you don't say those words in that way, but you hold yourself back, I know I do, from today and tomorrow because of the judgment of yesterday. Whether it was, I was better yesterday, and those were the good old days, the glory years, and so I'm not that good anymore. Or if you only knew who I was, you wouldn't give me this opportunity to go where we're going, right? And so we all live somewhere in there, and I am no exception. And it's something that, interestingly enough, moving abroad has really brought to the fore of my mind, because when you move abroad, and it's not even like moving to a different city within the same country. When you're in a brand new culture, when you're in a brand new environment where no one knows you and no one knows anything, your past doesn't matter to anyone. And you're forced to ask yourself, why the hell does it matter so much to me? You see, but when we're around familiar environments, there are people who knew us back when. There are situations that remind us of back when. You drive by that place, or you have that memory, or whatever it is. But this new environment has forced me to look at me in a different way, and really start to ask that question: why the hell am I holding on to that? Good, bad, or indifferent, right? And that's been a bit of a struggle for me recently, and it's been a struggle because there's a part of me that's just like, let it go, move on. Good, bad, and indifferent. Like, new day, new chapter, heck, new book, let's go. And then there's another part of me that's like, yeah, but that's still who I am. That's still a part of me. And in the moments where old patterns surface, you start to wonder, can I really move on? Maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you've lived in this too, and I'm not the only one. And then I heard a lyric, but before I get to the lyric that I heard, I want to share this with you. And I did this exercise months and months ago. So it was almost a year ago I did this exercise with a good friend of mine. And in this exercise, we went through and came out with this statement of thanking the old me and saying, I don't need you anymore. So almost like a permission statement to break away from the old you. But the very next day, the old me was still there. And it was the exercise to say, well, I don't thank you, but I don't need you anymore. And that worked for a while, and it was good for a while, but then it still made me feel this bit of void of, but it's still there and it's still me. So how do I say I don't need me in totality anymore? And so it left me in this dichotomous state. And so I've been, been thinking and sitting with looking at that very differently, and looking at it not so much in the I don't need you anymore, right? As I had for a year, but actually we're in the gratitude of who I've been. In the saying, I am grateful for the heartache. I'm grateful for the pain. I'm grateful for the good times. I'm grateful for the good old days. The glory days. I'm grateful for all of those, because all of those have allowed me to be who I am right now, able to step into the next chapter of the book. I can't leave any of that behind and just say it didn't exist or I'm pushing you off, because all of that has shaped my ability to take that next step. And so, whereas there are things in our past that, we feel really bad about, and I'm using bad, but assign any emotion you want there. Then those things. The things that you don't tell anyone, you know what I'm talking about. But those things, the good things too, the triumphs, all of it has accumulated to make you exactly who you are right now. Now, who you are right now, who I am right now, is perfect for this moment. Who I am right now is imperfect for the moment that passed, and is imperfect for the moment that's coming. But who I am right now is perfect for this moment. Now, that doesn't mean I'm complete. Perfection doesn't mean completion. It just means in this moment, I'm exactly who I need to be. And with that in mind, I can look back at who I was and be grateful for who I was, so that I can be who I am right now, which is going to allow me to be who I need to be in the next moment. So I've been sitting with this for a while. And I sit with this because the thing that I'm looking at is my own personal self-sabotage cycles, and realizing that my own personal self-sabotage cycles are tied to my emotion and feeling about who I've been and what that means for who I could be, versus sitting here in appreciation of who I've been so that I could be who I am, which is going to make me a better who I will be. So I'm curious. I am genuinely curious. Am I the only one who goes through this? Do you have a similar journey? Do you sit and have negative emotions about who you've been, which allows you to then not move into who you're supposed to be? Because we've got to move into who we're supposed to be. That's where we're supposed to be. How about that? So Love to hear your story. Hit reply on if you're an email. Love to get your perspective on this. I'm not at all trying to sit here and say that I'm right. A year ago I thought one way and realized that was wrong. Maybe a year from now I'll realize it's an even deeper level than where I am right now. Maybe next week I'll realize that. I don't know. Hopefully, if you know there's a deeper level, maybe you can share it with me too. So, at the end of the day, we've got to become who we are supposed to be. We got to stop holding ourselves back. That I know is truth. See you soon.